should be
played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
With the Heartland Cafe and Redline Tap here in Chicago, Illinois. The Heartland Cafe has been here since 1976 and have been here now going on 35 years, kind of a cornerstone of the neighborhood of Rogers Park, socially, politically activated community center of sorts, and restaurant first and foremost, live music venue with both, with a bar. Redline Tap was taken over by the Heartland Cafe in 1996 and been doing music consistently since 2003 when I took over booking there. The Heartland Cafe to me is, a lot more different, whereas the Redline Tap's a little darker. It can be more of a rock venue or a different array of things. The Heartland Cafe is more, as it's, always had the moniker, good, wholesome food for the mind and body. So keeping that in mind, keeping in its rootsy, politically minded, socially aware base, that's kind of where the Heartland lies for the most part.
During the 1968 Democratic National Convention, I don't know if you know about the Battle of Chicago or not, but downtown went up for grabs. And Michael James, one of the owners here, he was in on that. He's somewhere in this building. He's got the front page framed from the Chicago Tribune with him and some of his friends attempting to tip over a police squad roll during the demonstrations. They got a little bit rough back then. We're going to have a health food restaurant for a little while, and it turned out to be 34 years. Free speech, liberal politics, that whole thing is spoken here. It's not a Republican establishment by any stretch of the imagination. Well, just look around, you can see it's kind of free-spirited and everything. But it's a great place to do stuff.
The Heartland Cafe caters to all sorts of eaters, be it, meat eaters, vegetarian or vegan. A lot of our food is definitely of a higher quality or of a higher standard, being for our chicken, for example, is all Amish raised, non-caged, free-fed, chicken. We don't serve beef here. We serve buffalo, and our buffalo again is free-range, free-roaming buffalo. A lot of the products, like we offer the option of organic eggs and things like that, which are more politically and socially minded, and we also offer, a wide variety of vegetarian and vegan fare. Myself being a vegan can eat off our menu pretty much every day of the week and not be unhappy with what I eat. Heartland Cafe has its general store. It has a bar, the Buffalo Bar, which has a full bar. But the general store itself, it's got a wide variety of cosmetics, some local artisans and craft makers jewelry, postcards from around the world. There's all sorts of cool little trinkets and gizmos in the store. Music at the Heartland Cafe is more of a nicety that we're able to open our doors to musicians, invite them in, and give them a place to play. Whereas in the Redline Tap, people that are in the Redline Tap is more or less a music venue. I'm open to country, bluegrass, blues, reggae in either venue, but a predominance of world music, reggae, blues, jazz, some Americana, some country, some bluegrass are more of what you'd find me booking into the Heartland. Some funk, some R&B, but then in the Redline, I do book more rock. We do have the monthly Metal Up Your Cash showcase up there. The Redline Tap also sees a lot more bluegrass because it works well in that atmosphere. Just, it could work as a rock venue, or I can do bluegrass and country shows in there, and it caters to both. The Heartland Cafe being, more or less, it's the flagship of what we do here. It's the first and foremost, being the restaurant and kind of the cornerstone. I always take a precedence in booking the bigger shows in there if I can get them in there. We've had the original Beatles drummer Pete Best in there twice. We've had Jefferson Starship here, Country Music Hall of Fame artist Charlie Louvin. He's been here a couple of times.
Every week we're here because cheap beer, dollar beer night, and I love the live band that plays there usually.
Whereas in the Redline Tap, I've gotten Greg Ginn from Black Flag there actually 3 times now he's played there. Sonia from Disappear Fear, a lot of the bigger local metal acts, Yakuza, Commandant, Superchrist, Pokaholics, definitely one of my favorite bands to bring through the Redline Tap. It's a really, this whole community's been a very tight-knit group. For example, when the Heartland bought the No Exit, Cafe in 1999, we brought in one year the open mic for poetry and music, which is here in the Heartland every Wednesday night. We brought that over from the No Exit to the Heartland, and Pete Wolf, being the host of that, has also been a very big part of it, and keeping that being the second longest running open mic for poetry and comedy in the city.
The first time my lover caressed my stomach, my body recoiled. I wanted to break his wrist, clear off his arm, begged him to leave that strip of skin barren and unnoticed. He said he would not. Pressed each fingertip tight to my flesh, they whispered into me, "You have 10 new reasons to love yourself completely."
Yeah.
This is actually my second time coming to the Heartland Cafe open mic. Came once before about a month ago. Got her kind of late. Checked it out. Very good open mic. It's a good crowd, good response. The host and everything are very receptive to it. So I'm new in town, so it's kind of a good way to meet some other musicians, kind of get myself established.
I've been here pretty much my entire life as the host of the open mic, Pete Wolf. We've been friends now going on 36 plus years of our life or so. And this whole neighborhood's always been very community oriented. Like in the Heartland Cafe itself, there's been generations that have grown up here and come back, or their children have come back. It's been a very nice circle of people that have always been part of this community. Wednesday nights in the Redline Tap, since we're so close to Loyola University, that's one thing I've always been conscious of. Hence $1 beer night, a way to attract them over here, attract some of the college students over here. They've become just a part of the community like everybody else here. And Rogers Park being this neighborhood's a very culturally and racially diverse community, and you'll see that in this whole neighborhood. If you're looking for more information about the Heartland Cafe and Redline Tap, heartlandcafe.com, or on Facebook, Heartland Cafe, Rogers Park, and the Redline Tap has its own Facebook page. We have our Twitter accounts, both Redline Tap and Heartland Cafe.